Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Vikings and the Jags, coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the champions from the NFC, the Minnesota Vikings. The long fortnight of Super Bowl week is over, and away we go in Super Bowl 58. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Ready, break. Three. Look at me.
They go play action with Lawrence. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. He was a 1,000-yard receiver during the regular season, and that's his first catch of this Super Bowl, and he picks up the first down. Off the option, here's ETN. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
Here's Lawrence. He'll drop that underneath to ETN. This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed, and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handled winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things, and then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team the best chance to win.
They'll run for the first time with Travis Etienne. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 16. A good pickup there at 22. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that. I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive. And once again, they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Lawrence's throw here into the hands of Jones. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this defense, they've been terrific all year, and they come through with a pick six here on the game's biggest stage.
Perfect descriptor there, because we have seen this time and time again. This defense, their ability to take the ball away from teams, they definitely have a nose for the football, and it pays off again on that play.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
From the 27, Lawrence. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Lawrence. Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to give it to Ridley. Lawrence picked by his former teammate at Clemson, Andrew Booth. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
And, partner, I think this is where long-term starters in the NFL separate themselves from the rest of the pack, because there's still 3 full quarters left in this one. More than enough time to move past a pair of early mistakes and find a way to lead your team to a win. Mental resiliency, a characteristic every NFL team's looking for in their quarterback.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. After the interception, here's Jackson. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
So when the defense complains about having to do pursuit drills in the heat of training camp, plug in this play. Exit pursuit, force the quarterback out of the pocket. He ends up trying to run for it. Instead, he goes out of bounds and loses yardage. That goes down as a sack for the defense.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Jackson. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
Try and throw for it with Jackson. Touchdown! T.J. Hockenson. A 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings will add to their 1st quarter lead here in the Super Bowl. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the end zone comes Chris Claybrooks to return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They trail early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage, you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
Now a pass caught by Zay Jones. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They've needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw into the hands of Kirk. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out in the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Play action. It's Lawrence. Man open. Here is Jones. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And they'll run with ETN. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. That brings us to the end of one in Super Bowl 58. Much more to come from Las Vegas after this. 14-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Once more ETN. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Travis Etienne taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Jaguars are on the board here in this Super Bowl. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll make our score 14-7. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Now it's Jackson. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Paris Campbell, 51 yards. And the Vikings continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 21-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. No return here for Clay Brooks, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Chidobe with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him, and that's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I suppose we go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
That's good for 28 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
On 2nd and 10, Jackson. And he'll just get rid of it.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Jackson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good, and they will open things up a bit more. It's 24-7. They already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the 4th quarter, but you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid after your first pick, or you say it's 1 interception, we're still in the first half, I'm going to do the same thing?
I think you want to avoid playing scared, and put it into the mind of the quarterback that you've lost confidence in him. Make sure you get some throws that he's going to be able to complete, make him feel good about himself, and continue to run your offense.
Lawrence on 3rd down. And able to find Kirk complete. He's going to pick up the first down and then some. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. Here's Lawrence to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On first and a loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On second down, here's Lawrence. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Jaguars on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. Now Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they snap him short of the first as he can only get to the 20. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
They're going on 4th down. Lawrence. And one more time, here's Kirk. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. We have reached the 2-minute warning. In fact, just under 2 minutes to play in the opening half of this year's Super Bowl. Lawrence going to throw again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Jaguars. Zay Jones from 13 yards out. And the Jaguars get a bit closer. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. Taken from about the 12. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 30, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Josh Allen, he's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Jackson. He'll fire it deep for Rager. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Rager, 83 yards. And the Vikings are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Lawrence over the middle. That's caught by Ridley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that 1st down pickup.
Throwing now, Lawrence on 1st down. Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they will get the 1st down here as they move into field goal range as well, inside the 25. Now a timeout called for by the offense as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. On 1st down, Lawrence. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. Well, CD, you know, when you mentioned earlier about spreading the ball around in this game, I don't think you mentioned the guys in the other uniform. With 4 interceptions here in the 1st half, and several different guys have picked them off.
Yeah, instead of analyzing what's going wrong with him, throwing the football, while we look at the defense, they came in prepared. Had excellent game plan, well scouting, and they're taking it away at almost every turn.
So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in the Super Bowl. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But there's ever a chance to regroup. It's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They played great all year long. That was the worst 1st half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the 2nd half.
Flushed out right. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
I'm sure that was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the 3rd quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he's got a man Calvin Ridley. And he will have a Jaguars first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. He couldn't get rid of it. He winds up losing a yard. It's 2nd down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about...
And my goodness, another interception. Lawrence picked by his former teammate at Clemson, Andrew Booth. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
After the interception, here's Jackson. That'll be caught. It's Lager. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Tackle made by Foley Fatukasi, the former UConn Husky. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson escaping the pressure right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Jackson on first down. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
3rd quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Cook up the gut. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Throwing is Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
Nothing open downfield. He had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. It became an all-arm throw, trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further. Whatever was said in the locker room during the break must have worked. They forced the turnover. They didn't get the touchdown, Charles, but it does translate into 3 points to begin the second half.
Exactly as they discussed in the locker room at halftime. Get some points to get things kick-started. Now start your half off with some momentum. Gives you something to build on for your next possession.
Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to... And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be brought down at the 27. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Daniil Hunter, his second sack of the night. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Lawrence. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
And so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about, in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
4th down, here's Lawrence. Steps away to his left. And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
3rd quarter, Super Bowl 58. Here's a 2nd and 10 now. Now Cook running right. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the 2nd half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried.
He's got a man, complete. Trotty. Touchdown, Vikings. Well, he has been fun to watch throwing the football this one. And certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary, a clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Claybrooks going to bring this one out. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember, last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the 2nd half. Lawrence's throw taken in by Collins. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. From the shotgun, Lawrence. Man open, here is Jones. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Off the play fake, here's Lawrence. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
Lawrence going to get this to Etienne. Taking it right down Broadway. Touchdown. Travis Etienne. His second touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Jaguars are able to get a score back in the final stages of this third quarter. Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield.
So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And they've got it. They recovered it. They hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 23 yards on the play.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 46 yards rushing for him now to this point. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Jackson to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Vikings are starting to pour it on at the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Extra point right down the middle. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Claybrooks going to bring this one out. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the fourth. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now Lawrence on first down. And that is incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. This is caught. It's Kirk. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 34-yard line. Again, it's Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 2-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
But someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. Oh, wide open, complete, 30. 10, 5, touchdown Vikings. Harris Campbell with his 3rd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Vikings start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Claybrook's going to bring this one out. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations. He's got a man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Levante David. And the Vikings will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, we saw plenty of that during his much-heralded college career. He parlayed that into becoming a first-round selection. And now here he is making interceptions in the National Football League.
And this is a guy that has all the physical tools, but the thing that sets him apart is what he's got between his ears. And that's the sixth sense for knowing where the football is going. Just an excellent play there to create the turnover.
Now, fourth quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Here's Lawrence. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lewis Seen. There he goes, right side. The 30. 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense. And certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
Claybrook's going to bring this. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for. He's got a man, complete. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. So how about this calls for a change in field position. From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Jaguars get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Point after, right down the middle, as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Now they're down big here in the fourth. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and it's second down. Now it's Jackson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Play action. It's Lawrence. Rolling to his right. He's got room at the 30. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. But to throw again is Lawrence. On a slant, here's Collins. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
And now here is another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. There he goes left side. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, this one was already ugly, and now it's just kind of becoming a feast on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, partner, this is a unit that knows they've got this game in the bag with this huge lead. And it's going to drive their coaches crazy because they're telling them, play it straight, do all the right things. But these guys are going to be freewheeling now. All of them are going to take chances. And that one pays off with an INT and a return for 6.
Clay Brooks going to bring this one out. And a mistake on the lateral. It's a loose ball. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Lawrence will try again after the pick six. And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing a partner. They do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Buying time to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And they have done it. The Minnesota Vikings are the Super Bowl champions. And the Lombardi Trophy is going back to the land of 10,000 lakes. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.